Now when we have created an address book, I thought that it might actually be a good time to take a step back and start to look at the different controls in LiveCode. What are those, and when can we use them, and how can we use them? So first of all, what is a control in LiveCode? Well, a control in LiveCode is kind of anything that you put on a card. And this is one of the big advantages, I think, with LiveCode, because you can add a button, you can add a field, you can add an SVG graphic that we have here, or any other widget, and you can attach code to them. And they all trigger the mouse up event, for example, or even the mouse enter and mouse leave, and so on and so forth. So you have a lot of different possibilities here. So those are controls. When you work with controls, let's bring out the button here. To target that control, let's also bring out a field here. It is good to name them, because by naming a control, you can reach that via code, as we have seen in our examples when we built the address book. So if this is the save button, then there is also a label here, and there is a tooltip. I can say maybe click. Maybe I should write in English, not in Swedish. Click to save or something. Now, when I run this, if I have a tooltip, if I go into run mode, hover over this, you see that it pops up this click to save message here. So you can give some kind of hint. What should you do here? Or what should you write here? Or whatever. So that is the tooltip. We had the label also, and the label, I've already talked about that. You can use that, because if you would like to say spara, for example, instead of save, I'm sorry, I should hit tab, then it says spara here, but the button is still named save. So if I would like to do anything with this one in the code, well, then I can do that via the button save. So if we take the field here, for example, to put any text in this one, you can just do, if now I've brought up the message box, you find it here in this one. So if I do like this, put hello into field, and now I have no good name on this one. What you can do is that you can reach a field via its ID, and all controls that you add has an ID. And at the moment, I can see up here that it says ID 1042. So then I can write here 1042. And now if I hit my return key, well, now you see that it puts the hello text into this field. You can also reach a control, of course, via its name, and that is usually better. So let's say that this is the welcome field, and then you can say put welcome into field, and then use the name instead, welcome, like this, and you see that now it works with that one instead. And this is, of course, in your code will be much clearer to read instead of having a lot of IDs over everywhere. And also another thing is that IDs might change. Because if you realize, maybe I should have this somewhere else, and you maybe cut this, and then you paste it somewhere else, you get it back here, and you think that now everything is okay. But now, well, if you look at the ID, well, now it's 1043. But the name is still the same. So this is also a little bit more safe to use, because the name is what you give them, but the ID will always increase when you create new controls. So this is how you kind of read controls. And as you can see, I write the word field. That means that if this is the button, welcome, and it has maybe some other label here, label for welcome, like this, and now it's too small to see, but now I have one button that is called welcome and one field that's called welcome. How does it know which one I want? Well, I need to use then the field welcome or button welcome or widget welcome and so on and so forth. So you need to specify what type of control you have. When you have that, can you have multiple controls with the same name? Yes, you can, but it will be a little bit different, because if I have 4 fields, now they all are named welcome. Then what I do is that if I do like this, put hello there into field welcome and hit return, well, then what LiveCode is doing is that it hunts for a field called welcome, and then it finds one, and then it puts the text in there. So it doesn't put it into all of them in the same with the same name. To do that, you need to loop through them. So give them unique names. The name here can kind of be anything, because I can use kind of any symbol, any Unicode symbol, because LiveCode uses Unicode 16, I think, internally, and then so you can kind of use anything. So if I would like to call this delta, then I can say delta down here, and I can say put anything into field delta, and you see that it works perfectly well. So you are free to name them in any way you want. And as the name is always quoted, you can also have something called delta field with a space, and then I say delta space field, and it works perfectly well. So these are controls and a little bit how you can reach them.